Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. We are back with another One Piece stream. By the way, something I forgot to mention. I saw a theory on Reddit that I'm claiming is my own. There was a glorious theory on Reddit. You know how Vegapunk is talking about how high his production costs and research costs are to fuel everything and stuff like that? Basically, they said that Franky would tell him, or them, we still don't know what Vegapunk is, so them, about how he uses cola to fuel everything, and Vegapunk would be like, hold on, that's genius, right? And that's how Vegapunk would fuel everything from now on. And I found that so glorious, I claim that theory as my own, and frankly, I'm ashamed that I didn't think of it myself, because it makes so much sense. I mean, Franky's cola powering thing has to become relevant somehow in the science arc, right? I mean, it has to. It's so wacky that it would be like perfect for Oda to be like, oh, you thought the cola thing was a joke? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's actually really important. All right, that said, One Piece time. One Piece time. Let me refresh the page. Let me load in the chapter. Chapter 1064. Egghead Labo Phase. Not my first language. An emotionless excursion, Blackbeard pirates Kuzan and Augur. Alright, so this is what we talked about last time. Aokiji really is making moves right alongside Blackbeard. I still have got no idea what he's doing. I feel like he's still... I mean, he's got to be undercover. That thing he talked about with Smoker, right? That it's still me, or whatever he said. He's got to be talking about that, right? I'm convinced he's undercover. I'm convinced he's going to stop Blackbeard from doing something bad. That's my headcanon, and nobody can change it. Oh my god, he's Blackbeard. Z ha 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 ha, wonderful. Run like you like, there'll be no escape. Oh my god, it's not getting off-screened. It's not getting off-screened. Oh my god, it's not getting off-screened. It's not getting off-screened. I like this so much. I didn't hear your powers could do that. Is that an awaken technique? So Blackbeard at this point is like, yikes, I might have messed up. He's got an awakened fruit, and I don't know its powers. And then he just unleashes Whitebeard's fruit. The fact that Oda didn't off-screen Law versus Blackbeard. Yes. Oh my god, I hope we're going to see the whole thing through. The shockwave from the Quake Man. The Quake Man. It sounds a lot less threatening than it really is. Wait, no way. Wait, hold on. No way Stronger just died. Wait, did Stronger just die? I mean, Law cut it in half, right? So, probably not. He probably just split it. No way Stronger's dead. No way. Alright. Look out for the exploding apples. Why the hell are there exploding apples? Don't mess with folks born and raised in the frigid north. So, hold on. Have we all slept on Law's crew? I think I literally clowned on Law's crew last time. Don't you remember he gave Luffy apples in Jaya? Oh! Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Right, I remember now. Yes. I'd completely forgotten about that. I hate how Jaya is so important still. I need to go back and rewatch that. I keep doing that, right? Every time something with Blackbeard happens, I just go back and just look at their first interaction. Because I feel like so many things go back to it. The apples thing I'd completely forgotten about. Totally slipped my mind. But yes, what I was saying. Law's crew are not actually a bunch of weaklings. We've been sleeping on Law. Look at these dudes. They're actually Giga Chads. I mean, Augur just teleporting around does seem very OP. And another thing that has me asking questions is, how exactly did Blackbeard travel around? Like, how does all of this fit into the timeline? Clearly, after Luffy left, he hit Whole Cake Island. Then at some point in time, he was also on the other side of the Red Line, because he was in Amazon Lily. And now he is here. So I'm kind of curious whether that's just One Piece wacky travel shenanigans. Like, Shanks is also kind of teleporting all over the place sometimes. Or what's going on there. Who's your favorite out of the Blackbeard crew beside the dude himself? I really, really like Augur, honestly. The fact that he's a teleporting sniper is badass. I like that. Whole Cake Island was hit by Kuzan and Augur? How far can Augur teleport then? That's sort of the following question, right? Because he would still have to fit into the timeline somewhere for him to be here now as well. Okay. Blackbeard is getting... He actually got him? This is what happens when you charge in without a plan. Warp. Shall we return to the ship, Commodore? No, you fools. Stay on the offensive. So all of your officers now have powers, which means they all share the same weakness, the sea. But the benefits are worth the risk. That's how the devil fruits work. I've said this every single time, but whenever Blackbeard's on screen, I just love it. Like, whatever he's up to, every single phrase he says just has me asking questions. Like the fact that he's so confident in just saying, the benefits are worth the risk, that's how the devil fruits work. How much does he know about the devil fruits? Somebody who's like, yeah, the devil fruits are pretty good, you know, you just trade in your ability to swim for a lot of power. I don't think somebody like that says that. That might be my own hate canon, but it's really, really good. Blackbeard always gets clapped in the beginning, just usual business. Fair point. Fair point. An attack from the water, they're trying to sink our ship. I didn't know they were good at fighting in the water. We're experiencing a little attack-related turbulence. But it'll pass soon, our Commodore is the greatest. If Mama is still alive, you won't be talking like that much longer. Well, the guy we're fighting now is the one who killed Big Mom. So they're just trying to trap them. Okay, but now this makes me ask. Augur's power is really weird. Does using his power, like, drain you or something? Because if not, like, let's say he can teleport 100 meters, right? But then he can teleport 100 more meters. And then he can do that again and again and again and again, right? So even if he teleports through air, can he just warp around at will? And then can he do that with everyone because he teleported Blackbeard? I'm not gonna lie, this warp ability is starting to seem more and more overpowered as time goes on. I love that Blackbeard's not OP, rather he's menacing and planning. I mean, he is kind of dangerous, to be fair. I feel like with Whitebeard's power, if he really meant to, he could level the whole island. Problem is, I think he's got an ulterior motive here. Obviously, he wants the red poneglyph. I feel like there's something more here. Big Mom alive or not? That is something I've been thinking about, right? I mean, we shouldn't be taking what they say at face value, right? Because technically, they shouldn't know. It's not like they were there, right? Because, like, I'm just thinking about like, Whitebeard, right? Like, Whitebeard was an emperor who was already on his way out, right? So he was going to die from a sickness. And then he got a couple of holes in his chest. And in the manga, which I've been made aware of, he loses like half of his face. And he's still standing. So, I would love for them to come back, honestly. I feel like them falling into the lava and nobody checking on them, and just nobody mentioning them again, with them being literally emperors of the sea, that's still one of those things that about Wano that seems either rushed, not thought out. It's one of those things that still lingers from the ending of Wano that I'm sort of not so happy about. I mean, it's not the first time we haven't heard of what happens to somebody, but with them particularly, it feels a little bit weird. In any other series, anybody falling into lava, obviously they're dead. Like, obviously. But this is One Piece. This is One Piece. Right? So, who knows? Usopp will now have to deal with teleportation. No, he won't. No, he won't. You know what we've already seen? You know what we've already seen? We've already seen that Usopp has some crazy observation hockey, right? Keep in mind, he literally saw through walls at, like, 200 meters away in Dressrosa. Dude's got mad observation hockey. You know what also observation hockey does? It allows you to peer into the future. You know what you don't have to worry about when you can tell the future? You don't have to worry about teleportation. Because you know where he's going to teleport. Think about that. No, he doesn't have to deal with teleportation. And I feel like that might be the reason why he's given teleportation. Because Usopp can feasibly defeat it. I feel like Usopp will unlock the same ability that Luffy did. That might be his next big level up, actually. Especially if if they're on Egghead. And he gets some new tech to go along with it. Hot take, I'm 100% sure Big Mom and Kaido are alive and will come back into the story. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm leaning toward them being dead, but I hope they're not. That's a fake out death I'd be happy about. Big Mom crew would know if Big Mom is alive because they should have her Vivre card. Did Nami lose it? I remember her losing it somewhere, but did she get it back? But Vivre card is a very good point. If they have a Vivre card, they would know for a fact. But also, we heard in the arc that she stopped giving away Vivre cards because they were like a threat, didn't she? I remember something like that. Because I think Nami having one was like a big deal. And Vivre cards of Big Mom were apparently really rare. Does that mean they might not know? I don't know. But the Vivre cards are a really important detail, yeah. Zeus is still around, would he be if she died? Let me think back to Mother's fruit. Because wasn't something that Mother created still around after her death? Because that's one of those things that I immediately asked, right? Because if she were to infuse her soul into... This is something I talked about a lot in the Whole Cake Island videos, right? That seems like such a weird thing. That she can infuse her soul into something, but that she can't take it back or control it, right? The fact that Zeus tagged along with Nami, I mean, I like it as a power-up. It's really cool. But I do think it's a little bit flimsy in terms of the magic system. And the fact that she can just split her soul, I mean, she's literally Voldemort at that point. Alright, let's move on. Basically, a lot of confusing things here regarding powers of all kinds. Let's get back to Law versus Blackbeard. Alright, so Law has a very big sword, an almost uncannily big sword, and he's fighting Blackbeard, who's going all-out Quakey stuff, and then he's doing Black Vortex, and it's just glorious. At Winter Island in the New World, Blackbeard, the Emperor, has made contact with Trafalgar Law. And here I am once again, waiting for a fight to conclude. Nobody told me that being Fleet Admiral would be so frustrating. Poor Akainu. Kind of feel bad for Akainu. Okay, I know. I was gonna say, like, dude can't do anything, right? Dude just can't get a W. But I don't like Akainu. I like him as a villain a lot, but no, I don't like Akainu. Meanwhile, on Future Island Egghead. Looks like the pacifista came to a screeching halt. Anyway, Bonnie, couldn't you have picked a better age to disguise me as? Oh, so Bonnie just disguised them. Alright. Plus, I get how you feel, but, it ain't really him. Oh my god, I just... I was reading the dialogue, and then I just dropped my eyes, and I see Jinbei, and I see Chopper, and I see Luffy. Luffy age 70. In a different future. So this is just Oda being like, no, all of you people who want to draw Luffy into the future, this is not him. I'm not confirming Luffy's appearance in the future. This is a different future, trust me. This is a different future. This is not what Luffy's going to look like. I like that. Oh my god, Jinbei is so good. And Chopper is just... I love this. This is complete chaos. I love this. I wonder, like, what effects this has, like, on the body, right? So, would Luffy even be able to do anything if Bonnie just turns him into a 120-year-old? Is this another one of those powers that is ridiculously OP when you think about it? I mean, again, now we know that Haki can just counter everything if it's strong enough. So that's probably, like, a hard limitation on it. This is cool, though. And Garp did say that everything above Vice Admiral lacks freedom. Yeah. I mean, Akainu, I feel like with Akainu, it's like the best, right? Because he's basically a dog put on a leash at this point. Because he was obviously the most hot-headed, and now he just literally can't do anything. Because he has to play according to the rules. It's sort of like bitter irony, I guess. I think Bonnie's powers are time, not permanent. I think they're just based on range, rather than time. It might be time too, but I feel like range is the biggest problem. So if you just leave her range, you'd probably be fine. It's sort of like a stand power, right? His range is 20 meters. If you don't mind me saying this, Bonnie, here's what I know about Kuma. He started off as a wicked king of the Sorbet Kingdom. What? Of the Sorbet Kingdom? Does this have anything to do with Big Mom? Why would a kingdom be called Sorbet? When we have somebody like Big Mom, who makes everything about food. Okay. That's weird. Until the people draw him off, and he became a pirate. He was affiliated with the Revolutionary Army too, until the Navy captured him and sentenced him to life imprisonment. But Vegapunk was enamored with his muscle and latent abilities, so in exchange for taking part in body augmentation and clone development, Kuma was allowed to return to freedom as a warlord of the sea. The warlord and clone soldier development I can understand, but being turned into a cyborg might as well be a death sentence. Was that a laser beam saber? Oh my god, is Zoro getting more swords? Is Zoro getting more swords? I would, if he starts wielding lightsabers, I'm just gonna imagine Zoro with lightsabers. It would be glorious. My point is, it's murder in the name of science. My father told me that he was from special people. It doesn't give them the right to kill him. He was of special people. What does that mean? What's so different about him? I mean, he was huge. There are so many races and stuff at this point that are sort of important that I've got no idea what's going on. Yeah, that's my assumption too, right? The fan translation says race, not people. That's what my mind immediately jumped to too. But now that you say that, if it's like that in the fan translations, and that was the literal translation, but they changed it, wouldn't that automatically mean that it's not talking about a race? Because otherwise they wouldn't have changed it. Sorbet Kingdom is the kingdom Bonnie is from. It's in one of the blues. Yeah, but now that makes me wonder, why is it called Sorbet Kingdom? Because sorbet is a food. We have literally like Egghead, right? So who knows? It just seems weird considering how much we've talked about Big Mom recently. Sorbet is a decent food. Definitely worse than ice cream. People who prefer sorbet over ice cream and over like gelato, I don't know what they're on about. By the way, this makes the world government even more incompetent because they knew Kuma had ties with the revolutionaries before he became a warlord, so they should have figured out why he saved the Straw Hats. I hate dunking on the Five Elders so much. I'm so disappointed. Like, I hope we have a rug pull moment. I hope Oda is like, you thought they were dumb? They seem dumb? You've got no idea. They were playing 5D chess all along. Everything silly they've done that has seemed like a retcon, that has seemed like an oversight, all of it was a part of a bigger plan. I want that to happen, because at this point, I'm sorry, but the Five Elders are the biggest clowns in One Piece. And Buggy exists. So that says a lot. That really says a lot, if they are the biggest clowns. I think the word used for race can also mean tribe or family in Japan, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, I've got no idea. But the fact that, because I would assume, right, the fan translations probably take the literal meaning. That's probably what they do, right? So if they changed it for the official release, that makes me think that they're talking about something else. I guess we'll see, though. As for what I think it is, maybe he's like a half giant or something like that, because he was huge. Team Sunny, we're flying. The robot is flying through the sky and floats using anti-gravity. It's all, oh, okay, so we get introduced to anti-gravity and it's immediately nerfed. I like that. I actually like that. It's only possible because of the island's air conditioning. That said, this immediately makes me wonder whether, oh my god, we're gonna fly. We're gonna fly after this arc. We've got Nami, right? Who can control the weather. She can shape the ecosystem around them. And we've got Franky, who's the science dude. We're flying after this arc. I'm convinced 300%. Oh my god, are we gonna fly to Marie Joie? Are we gonna fly to Marie Joie? If we fly to Marie Joie, I might die. I might actually die. I think we're flying. No, like, there's no way. There's no way you're going to have a character who can master weather and a scientist. And then you have this thing who explains that he uses very advanced tech and air conditioning to do it. That is way too convenient. And I'm certain the Straw Hats will fly. That's my thesis statement. Let's move on. This is the entrance to the lab. It's bold. Oh, I love this so much. This is such a cool splash panel. Oh, this is awesome. I can't wait to see this animated. I'm not normally a huge fan of sci-fi, but this is really, really cool. This looks like the perfect mix between like sci-fi and steampunk. It honestly reminds me of like Back to the Future in terms of like the futuristic designs. Alright. The ground is Sky Island. Pyrobluine was explained in Skypiea, so nice callback. It's the stuff from the sea stone that gets sent off in the sky by volcanoes and male sky clouds. I definitely do not remember that. But I do like that it's an actual callback. I like the fact that it's actually consistent. That's really cool. These future suits got me so hyped. Why does that sound weird? Why does the word hyped in One Piece sound weird to me? Anyway, it's so loud and cute. I don't like the shoes. I really don't like the shoes. The shoes are weird. The shoes are really, really weird. The shoes are so weird. Sanji looks interesting, to say the least. Sanji is getting the beach episode he never got. My top just looks like an Aloha shirt. What about me? What the hell is he even wearing? Franky looks so weird. Franky looks so bizarre. Being a genius means being able to see even what your own future contains. What do you mean, Vegapunk? I suspect that my death is imminent. Stop telling bad jokes, they're not funny. So I wanted you to hear me out. Surprising nobody. Vegapunk is talking to Dragon. Because of course he is. Everybody saw this coming a mile away. Everybody did, including me. I think Nami and Robin are a bit too much, or too... Yes. I do think that this is again for the thirsty boys. And again, I just hope this doesn't become a Sanji thing. Like, look at Usopp. Look at Usopp. Usopp is literally wearing like a ski suit. And then there's Nami and Robin. Classic anime. Knowing that the anime is going to probably make it even more egregious. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, I could have toned down fan service. I mean, at this point, I don't think One Piece will ever tune down fan service. That's just a weird part of manga and anime, I guess. This is really, really... Like, again, this chapter just has me asking millions of questions. We literally left everything. Like, everything in this chapter was cut off midway, right? We didn't see the Law and Blackbeard fight. We didn't see a proper follow-up with like, what's going on with Kuma and Bonnie. And on the Sunny Squad, they just got to the entrance. So, everything was just cut short. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. I think Vegapunk will be impressed by Franky's skills, but also by Usopp's creativity. The thing that has me asking questions with Vegapunk now, right, is that he's saying that he suspects that his death is imminent. Just realized, he looks like... Am I imagining things, or is this literally just like Daft Punk? Not quite. Not quite. Close enough, though. But yeah, what I was saying. If he, like, suspects his death, and then Franky pops up, and he's basically like a scientist, you know what's the deal with scientists? Usually they're like, oh, you're really cool, you're really smart, let me hand you my knowledge, right? Take it forward. That's usually what scientist characters are in media. Usually they don't die without, like, giving their research to someone else to complete it, or to forward it, or something like that, right? Is Franky going to get a whole bunch more Vegapunk tech? I think that's entirely possible. Another trope. This would 100% be a trope, and I don't think that might happen. But again, we talked about this before the stream, right? The Coca-Cola theory. Or rather, not the Coca-Cola theory, right? Because that's trademarked, we can't do that. The cola theory. What if Vegapunk has an incomplete project, and then he's going to be like super sad that he can't finish it because he's dying or something, and then Franky shows up and completes it, right? He's like, hey old man, the future is now, old man. I've got the key for your research. And then he hands it over, and Vegapunk's like, oh my god, a fresh pair of eyes. Changed my entire life. You're a genius. And then we have the typical... We have like the typical Sokka and the scientist dynamic, right? Where he's just like, oh my god, you're a genius, you figured it out. There it is. I can fix it. And then they become really good friends. Something like that. I don't know. This could go in a number of different ways, and I've got no idea. And keep in mind, the clown squad that is the Five Elders are still sending a Seraphim over here. Hold on. If Vegapunk can actually see the future, and he suspects his death is imminent, what if he goes down with the ship? What if he stays behind and lets the Straw Hats escape, and he is killed by the Seraphim? Very interesting. Very interesting. People even say that Franky is a son or a failed clone he left behind. This is one of those things that I wouldn't even know how to feel about, right? Because in One Piece, a lot of things are connected. But I think we are at that point we're reaching the point where too many things are connected. So I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily be against it, but I don't know. It makes sense, sort of, right? But yeah, I mean, at that point, we start drawing up maps, right? And like everybody in the story is somehow connected. And then that just seems a little bit convenient that we're just happening upon these places that are super important and stuff like that, right? I'm still surprised that we haven't explored a lot of the like, we know next to nothing about Zoro's family, right? Is he just going to be a wandering swordsman forever and we never found out about him? Could be definitely that. I feel like that fits Zoro's character, that he's just sort of this, he just basically is always sort of an enigma as to what he's about. Nami could have potential for lost parents and family ties. Yes, very true, very true. But at the same time, I would honestly be completely happy if she never got that, right? Because I feel like with Bellemere was such a pure character, and it would be like one of those things that if we found out who Nami's quote-unquote true parents were, that doesn't really matter, right? Because Bellemere was her mother, and that, to me, that's all that matters, right? I honestly wouldn't care about her true parents, per se. To me, that doesn't change anything. Because clearly Bellemere was there, and she's the one who took care of them. And kind of ditto for Luffy's mom. I'm interested in what's going on with her and why she has poofed out of existence. But at the same time, I mean, she's clearly never been there. She clearly didn't react to Luffy becoming wanted. She clearly didn't react to Luffy supposedly dying. So, at this point, should we really care about her? I don't know. Family ties have always been a weird thing in One Piece. The rating for this chapter, again, we saw Blackbeard. We saw a fight. You know me. That's already like five grades on top of that. We also have a whole bunch of mysteries. We have a whole bunch of reveals. But obviously, I don't really care about any of them. I just want to see more Blackbeard, right? So, that said,